BBno money, the it boy, BBno $, him, the Gen Z, Eminem, BBno money. Who is BBno money? Why does the baby have no money? And why is the internet so mad about him? I'm here to find out why. Why is the internet obsessed with hating on one rapper from Canada? And why does he constantly have to defend himself? Mr. BBno money, or Alex if you would, is a Canadian rapper, as many of his loyal disciples may know. If you are unaware, he grew up wanting to be a professional swimmer, but a spinal/back injury made it so he could no longer be an athlete, so he pursued a career in music. I don't know if that was like his entire plan or not, but this is the backstory that I'm aware of. And he has made a living off of quite a few tracks. Some of them you would recognize. Some of them featuring Young Gravy. Some of them featuring quite a few artists like Y2K, and you'd recognize him as the La La guy from the song La La La. You'd probably recognize It Boy. You'd probably recognize Edamame. He collabed with Smosh, and it's just been smooth sailing from there. But with smooth sailing, there is rocks and boulders and boundaries and Twitter. So, in the midst of his fame and the highlights of joy, came a barrage of people on Twitter who wanted to cancel Mr. No Money for things as simple as his takes on AI and his support for the trans community. Now, I'm here to say I adore BBno money, not just because of his music, but because of his love for the LGBTQ community, for women's rights, for small minorities, and for his protection of artists. He hates AI, and I stand for that. He commissions artists, and I stand for that. He hates ICE, he hates transphobia, he hates Trump. I'm here for all of that. I initially followed him because of his political views and his stance and just his social presence. And then I started liking his music after I gave it a few listens. Nothing against his music, it's not my thing. I am into more metal and rock and all that stuff, with a few guilty pleasures on the side. One of them being now BBno money. I am trying not to be biased, because obviously my opinions would be differed as a fan of BBno money. But I do like to give my commentary. From my extensive research, I have seen people make comments about how there was no evidence provided, so I cannot give any evidence here. And it was on Twitter, so I don't like anything from Twitter. Give it with a grain of salt. One person claimed BBno money used the N-word in high school. High school, more than half of his age ago. I don't know if it's true or not. No proof was provided. It was only one statement that's been passed around like Chinese whispers. And I wanted to say for the record, if it is true, people can learn, people can change. If we didn't forgive people for past mistakes, nobody would be forgiven. Everybody has done something bad in their past. It could have been worse. Like, yeah, racist slurs are bad, but it could have been worse. Everybody's done something bad. The people accusing BBno money of saying this slur in high school, I'm sure they've said worse about their bullies. I'm sure they've said worse about people they hate. And if they were bullies themselves, they've probably done and said worse about victims. They've probably said worse about marginalized communities. So, you live and you learn. And from what we've seen with his support for minorities, he has learned. And he has, even if he did say it, has probably learned from that mistake. Another thing that has been cropping up recently is his refusal to pay commissions. So I've done the research myself, and I've seen that there was one artist who claimed the commission was not paid. This artist has not given any evidence other than saying he was not paid. I don't know if it's true or not, but a recent tweet came out from BBno money saying that he has paid said artist. There is a conversation regarding me not paying creatives for commissions. One individual has been relentlessly harassing me because of an oversight on me not reposting their content. So here is the issue, first of all. this person saying, well, not this person, the whole internet is exploding about him not paying commissions because of one person. And this person has now flipped the script to say it wasn't a commission, it was a repost. So already the story's a little bit, the dots don't add up. A month ago, I offered to pay his full rate and formally apologized, which was attached, for being unable to repost his content to lead my audience to find his page. It was a fundamental oversight on my behalf, although they haven't stopped harassing me. He has apologized because things happen. The end. I will say he did forget, and he's holding himself accountable. Oversights happen. He's commissioned thousands of artists. It happens. I have never not paid out animators. I have commissioned thousands of artists, and I will continue to commission more because I believe in propelling art forwards. Love. And it's true. There is constantly artists coming forward from BBno Money, reposted on his page, tagged underneath as well. It's just this one oversight, unfortunately, caused this, and the best way to go forward is to reach out to either Alex himself or his management and say, okay, you didn't tag me, the end. Or even in the comments, be like, you didn't tag me, the end. Not create up a spiel to be like, oh, you didn't pay me. The thing is that, if I remember right, it was like you didn't pay the full rate. So he either didn't pay, he either didn't tweet, or he either didn't pay the full rate. The story changes. This is the message from Alex, I believe, because it's in blue. Hey man, I wanted to personally say my 2 cents, and sorry this took a second. I just started tour and have had barely a chance to address yesterday. That is a valid thing. He is doing a world tour right now, and he's just come back from his hiatus. We'll get onto that. So he's very, very busy. He's just made like 2 new singles after having his album and going around the world in like a tour bus. So things are busy. Reach out to management. I know it may feel like I was trying to slight you here, but that was genuinely not my intention. I understand there are heightened feelings involved, and I feel personally responsible, so I wanted to say I am sorry. An apology. When I first responded to your message on Twitter, it was a situation of me hitting a bunch of people in my DMs to commission them. I think I overextended and didn't realize the type of content you typically do. Apparently, this person is an NSFW artist, which is, something you can't really repost because of like T's and C's. So I forgot to mention, not safe for work artists. This is not a slight on NSFW artists. I absolutely respect what you do, but I cannot in good conscience retweet your video knowing how many younger fans I have and what they would see if they clicked through your profile. Okay, there is the issue. This person is annoyed about not having their content reposted. You can't be mad at someone with underage fans not reposting your stuff if your stuff is sexual. Because if he did repost it, everybody would be down his throat about it being sexual content to his underage fans. The animation was a super banger though. It was simply an oversight from me and my team. We should have caught the oversight and made it clear from the jump we wouldn't be able to repost. I take full responsibility for that. Since I am unable to hold my end of the bargain and do more than comment on your bid, it's only fair I pay your full rate. I'll go ahead and send the balance. Sorry again for the confusion. So he did pay. He did pay. And I did see under like an older tweet, so many people were reposting a tweet from the NSFW artist and like tagging posts being about he doesn't pay NSFW artists. He does. He just can't repost them. This is the context I'm gathering from my own brain. You can gather your own thoughts. You can put it in my comments. You can put it in his comments. Be nice. He is a person. He's not a machine. He is a person. From what I can gather and conclude, he cannot repost it because, first of all, Instagram will take that down straight away, and he will be essentially sending it out to his fans who are minors, even if that was like somewhat allowed, which is gross. You would all have an issue with it. There are multiple layers of why this can't happen, but he still paid the artist, okay? He paid the artist. That should be the end. Commissions don't really involve reposts. Commissions usually involve paying the artist for an artwork. There's never really reposting involved. It's just because he's a bigger artist that people are huge on jumping down his throat. But I'm glad he has finally put this out. Sorry, February 20th, it says at the top, in case anybody wanted to know. So that is the commissions part done. I mentioned earlier about the hiatus, and I will move on to that. As you all remember, there was a video of BBno Money saying if this video gets a certain amount of likes, 2 million, he will quit music, and it did. So he took a break, but he suddenly took a break with no end of that hiatus in sight. And after 3 days, people were like, okay, no, is this real? Is this not? What's going on? People started to take it seriously to the point where people were like, oh no, BBno Money's gone. He's no longer making music ever again. And I only bring this up because underneath some of his tweets are people bringing back up that hiatus, and people are saying stuff like, you don't care what people say, but you still took a break to hide from the comments or whatever they say. I need these people to understand. Like I said before, Alex is a person. He is a human. He does have feelings. The hiatus was a break. He released a full-length album, then took a break, and now he released Diamonds Out Forever and Why Am I Like This? And now he's going on a world tour. People need breaks, especially when the only thing you get from social media is a constant barrage of hate. Everything you do gets hated on. The commissions, everybody finds hate. Saying, oh, I don't stand for AI gets hate. Standing for trans rights gets hate. Posting a new video gets hate. It's very exhausting, and even if you don't care or you have this mindset of, oh, I don't really give a shit, I'm just gonna breeze through life, it does weigh, and it does take a toll on your mental health. And the song Antidepressants really does resonate with me because he is on antidepressants, he does take them. You need to understand that words have an effect on people. Your words can be the final push someone needs to, push them off the edge. Be careful what you say, because as much as people don't really care, they also do. Your words can hurt. And this is coming from someone who is on antidepressants because of other people's words. Be a bit nicer. He is a human at the end of the day, he is just a person. The hiatus was needed, and people bringing it back up to use against him is so weird. It's like using summer vacation as a way to cancel somebody on Twitter. Everybody needs a holiday, everybody needs a break. It was over Christmas. Anyway, Twitter is toxic. Moving on to one of my favourite parts of BBno Money is his relentless hate against AI. I love how much he despises AI and is trying to get rid of it by commissioning as many artists as possible. Commissioning, okay? NSFW artists are still amazing artists, even if he can't repost you, okay? Remember that, please. I'll put the tweet here and I'll read it out. Fuck AI and support real artists. And I second that. We are so cooked. Everyday AI content is eating up more and more market share of our eyes and ears, and it's basically indistinguishable from reality. If regulation is not placed soon around copyright, we are going to lose unfathomable amounts of human creativity. Most developing artists rely on a small project-based work to get their foot in the door of an already gate-kept industry. Being a starving artist is looking like it may become less and less attainable without being forced to become proficient in AI tools. It's scary. An artist myself, I have people asking for free art, and then they say an AI will do it for free. An AI will not do it for free. An AI will do it at the expense of you and others. An AI will run on a data center, and a data center takes up this amount of water to run, and the surrounding area, for not just the surrounding town, the surrounding state will have no water. There are videos on the internet of people who have no water, and this is a first world country. These are people who have access to fridges with touchscreen, dryers that can connect to Spotify, and they don't have running water. Their taps will trickle a little bit of dirt, and then it's just a little piddle of water, and you don't know if that's safe to drink because of the dirt mixed in. These people are homeowners who have lived off this land for ages. These are people whose house has been inherited from grandparents and great grandparents, and they have no water anymore because of these data centers. These data centers are also so bright, it's causing too much light pollution, that there are no more like obviously there's no stars in the sky in America because y'all have too much light pollution. But even in like Texas, where there's like big roads, you'd be able to see the stars. You can no longer do that. People can't sleep at nights because of the light pollution. It's causing migraines. It's it's consuming too much power to the point that people are having like short circuiting power cuts more often. I have friends in America who are telling me that they've had power cuts so often, and I assume it's these data centers because these power cuts are happening at least once a month now. That's not right. I've never, ever, ever had a power cut my entire life living in the UK. Maybe I'm just lucky, but I've never experienced a power cut in person. I've only ever heard of one happening, and I've never seen one. But you are always told to prepare for them. Continuing the tweet. The pursuit of artistic excellence must be protected at all costs. I agree. Again, biased because I'm an artist, but you know what? It's completely based because art is the only creative thing made by humans. And every time you create art, you're creating like brain movement and brain like hand-eye coordination. The more you remove that from a person, the more dumber you'll get. Eventually, we're all going to be so dumbed down by the use of AI and the less use of our brain that we're just going to be machines ourselves that run on automated responses. It's built from hundreds of years of blood, sweat, and tears from uncredited and unpaid artists. I agree. Go back to ancient Egyptian times. Look at the beautiful hieroglyphs. That was their writing, that was their calligraphy. Their art was their way of communication. Caveman paintings. We know a lot about how the cavemen lived because of their art, their way of communication. And all of that is just being overthrown by copyright images that have been whisked through the internet's blender and spat back out at someone because they couldn't be bothered to pay an artist. I agree with what Alex has said here about AI. It's bad. Not just for like artists, but for the environment and for the brain. It's so bad for you. Moving on to another subject, there was something that came up about someone stealing music. I am a little bit out of the loop on this one. The comments were saying stuff like people would just try anything to cancel him. The title of this tweet from Alex is "These songs are not mine, that is 61 Banks, an artist I signed 7 years ago under my defunct record label. FYI, I know BBno Money is once again managerless because of other things we'll get into after this. I'll put up the screenshot here, but essentially he was accused of either song theft, by the looks of it, or having unreleased samples or stealing samples. And he put up the email proof here, which you can see from the artist, proving that the music is not his, it's the artist's. Why are you guys so insistent on cancelling someone for something so silly? I understand like people sample all the time, but come on, just give it a break. If something big comes out about BBno Money, it will come out. You don't need to dig through archives of song samples. Okay? Calm down. Where's all this energy for, I don't know, Kanye West who's talking about Hitler? Where's all this energy for Drake who is a literal pedophile? Where's all this energy for the Epstein files? Like, come on, there's bigger things to worry about, okay? I am going to talk about what I mentioned earlier about the CEO slash manager, which is related to the Epstein files. I'm just going to read the tweet. I am appalled to hear about the actions and behaviors of the CEO of Waserman. I can't fathom why it's so hard to not be a disgusting human being. It breaks my heart to say that as of today, I'll be stepping away from a longtime agent and best friend to ensure that I don't line the pockets of Casey Waserman. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I apologize. I don't apologize to the bad man. I have been with my booking agent for the better part of 10 years. My mistake, it was a booking agent, not a manager. Far before they were part of the Waserman project. Them and their colleagues are a group of people with tremendous ethics and values. They were the first people to believe in me before I even had a manager. If and when the music team at Waserman find a solution that ensures we are no longer supporting someone like Casey, I'll go back to working with my agent. Until then, I'll be self-booked. This is because, if I remember right, Casey Waserman, however you pronounce it, was found in the Epstein files. Isn't that lovely? It's not. More bullshit. It's one thing after another for this poor guy. Just to recap, you can have your own opinions in the comments and let me know what I've missed, but Alex got accused of not commissioning an artist in full, got accused of not commissioning the artist at all, got accused of only paying 50%. Then we find out that it was because he couldn't post the NSFW art. He apologized that he commissioned NSFW without realizing what it was, and paid the artist in full. And the artist is still mad. Someone is mad over something he did in high school, which has no proof, so he may or may not have done in high school, but he has clearly learned from his mistake. People are mad at him for supporting artists and hating AI. People are mad at him for supporting trans rights. People are mad at him for hating ICE. People are mad at him for being very much outspoken for minorities. People are also mad at him for his choice to take a hiatus over the Christmas period, when originally his retirement was a joke. I'm pretty sure he did tweet about it. Yeah, I initially posted my retirement as a joke, but then I really took it to heart when people showed they cared and that it got so big. Truthfully, I love making music and I love my supporters. I'm going to keep doing what I love. Yeah, it was a joke originally until everybody was like, oh no, he wouldn't do it, I bet. And he took the hiatus. Everybody needs a break. It's fun to take a break. It's lovely to take a break. Let him take a break. It's fine. But people are still using it against him. Even in these comments here, like someone saying, you clearly care because you blacked out your Twitter for like a month because you got your feelings hurt. Yeah, it happens because imagine getting hate from thousands of people every single day because of your beliefs and just because of something that happened. Like accidents happen. It was an oversight, and he still did the right thing by paying the artist in full. The artist is the one harassing him. He still did the right thing. It was just like a miscommunication in a way. Another thing in the comment underneath is him fetishizing Latin countries, and I wanted to ask a question because it's on about the song Come to Brazil. He made the song because of all of the comments saying Come to Brazil because, he couldn't tour that country without like the funding. And he made the song for his Brazilian fans. And here's the question, is it cultural appropriation or is it cultural appreciation? There's the question. Now, there are a lot of people commenting that it's racist or it's like insensitive. These people are white. The people posting it being insensitive are white. So, I don't really look at those comments seriously because unless you are Brazilian yourself, you can't really say that it's insensitive against Brazilian people. And again, I don't have an opinion because I'm not Brazilian, but I do see it as appreciation. If you watch the video, or the music video, and if you listen to the song, it's a very much a culturally appreciative song. It appreciates Brazilian culture so much. The fact that he got Brazilian people in the music video singing along, dancing along, enjoying life, appreciating the culture, just having fun with the local Brazilians, it's great. It's a vibe, and it's okay if you think that it's insensitive. It's okay if you don't like it, that you're entitled to your opinion. But I do think it's weird that you comment on things that aren't to do with your ethnicity. If you are Brazilian, let me know how you feel about it because I am curious as to what you think. But as far as I see it, as a non-Brazilian, I just see it as appreciation. He's appreciating the culture. He does that a lot. He appreciates so much. I've seen recently he's been appreciating a lot of Korean culture thanks to the influx of K-pop idols dancing to his song too. Not just because of that, he's always been a stan of like BTS and Stray Kids, but still. There's a difference between appropriation and appreciation, and I want people to remember that when they write stuff about fetishizing. Again, if you think that way, think that way. My opinion is my opinion. I just see it as an appreciation of the culture, and that's it. And I just wanted to highlight this one comment real quick. I'm gonna put it here because I think it's the stupidest thing ever. I've seen someone repost this comment. Seriously, like they reposted it saying, I can't believe he did this, and I thought it was satire until I went into the comments and people were like, you do know this is Brandon Rogers, right? And they were like, oh. BBno Money got into a physical altercation with a single mother and nobody's saying anything about it. I thought it was satire. And then they reposted it saying, expecting an apology soon. I don't think it's satire. I really hope it is, but I don't think it's satire. It's Brandon Rogers, okay? And if you've never seen Brandon Rogers' content, this is just one of the characters. We're cooked. As a society, we're so cooked. If we can't tell the difference between a bit and something serious, we're gone. I just want to wrap this up with my final takes on this. I think when it comes to finding an issue with rappers and musicians or anyone famous in general, you shouldn't be looking for the tiny little details or like looking into tiny weeny intricate things in their actions or their lyrics or their Twitter or their friends. I think you should be looking at the bigger pictures when it's slapping you in the face. I think we should be more focused on people like Kanye West, who openly said he loves Hitler and thinks he is Hitler. Why aren't people going insane and up in arms about that? Drake kissed a 17-year-old girl and said he might get in trouble for that, but okay. And the internet defended him by saying she was going to turn 18 anyway. That's what groomers say. That's what pedophiles say. Why isn't the internet up in arms about that? Instead, they're digging through archived like samples and stems between a musician and an employee to find anything, to find dirt on someone. They're saying stuff that happened when he was probably like 15. Okay, people have said far worse at 15. Okay, I've been called so many slurs at the age of 15 by people. Those people don't say these slurs now, though. Those people I actually have a friendship with, and we laugh about it now because they learn. People live and learn. And in terms of the commission thing, you'd be very stupid to believe that it was anything other than a misunderstanding. He still apologized even though it was a misunderstanding, and it should have been dealt with privately, in my opinion. But of course, people take it to social media because they love drama, and Twitter's the best place for infested drama. I think that the artist should have kept it in the DMs. And it's just, I believe it's all in the name to tarnish Alex and his branding. When realistically, he is just a guy. All he does is have a good time, but every time he does that, he gets so much hate for no reason, and I don't know why. Even doing this, like my research before this, even doing this video now, I still don't know why. You can have your opinions on Come to Brazil, the music video, the song, the cosplays, whatever, but it doesn't make sense to me. I said at the start, maybe I'm biased, maybe it's because I enjoy his music, maybe it's because I enjoy him as a person, maybe it's because I think he's hot and low key, but I don't understand. This is coming from my commentary side. I don't understand, especially when there are bigger issues in the world. Why aren't you all worried about people being murdered in the streets? Why aren't you worried about the pedophile in Parliament? Well, not Parliament, the White House. Why aren't you worried about children being deported from their families? Come on, don't worry about a goofy guy dancing on stage and a miscommunication that should not have leaked out of the DMs. Calm down. My conclusion is y'all need to find a hobby. Y'all need to find something else to do other than digging through someone's DMs. Leave Alex alone. He's a great guy. And maybe if you stopped like wanking over AI, he'd actually notice you and commission something for you. And that's all I've got to say for that. You can subscribe, you can comment, you can tear me down if you want for my opinions, but my opinions are mine. My opinions are valid. Doesn't mean you have to agree with them. Doesn't mean you have to like them. But it's what I think as a person who does this shit on YouTube for not so much a living at the moment. Add your opinions. Doesn't mean I have to agree with them, but I would love to hear opinions. Correct me, agree with me, whichever you want, and I'll see you in the next one.